Okay, All Out 2020 review. Whew. More than 3.5 hours. Almost 4 hours of show. I don't like when shows go this long, but due to the fact that we haven't seen one of these in a long while, I could, to a certain extent, let it slide because they wanted to make this show mean something. And comparing to the WWE with SummerSlam and to Payback, this show was damn good. Some things I don't agree with, but this was a damn good show. That if you see it, you will be satisfied with at least most of the show. Now, when it comes to the kickoff, the buy-in, honestly, I never understood why they do this, like doing small matches, because they did 2 really short matches that I think they just didn't need. I don't believe that it was necessary. Joey Janela versus Serpenticato, or Serpentor as I would call him, from G.I. Joe. If you've never seen G.I. Joe from the 80s, look it up and look for Serpentor next to Cobra Commander when he was in the first years of it. Like the first, what would I say? Maybe the first 20 episodes of the original G.I. Joe, he was just evil. Serpentor took over to try and be evil. This is Serpentor. Serpenticato, if I'm pronouncing his name right. I don't understand why they did this match with Joey Janela. I don't think it was necessary. Yes, Joey Janela got a win, but I don't think it was necessary. Then we had 3 and 4, which was Silva and Reynolds versus Private Party. Now, I can understand if this was the only match on that kickoff show. I'll be understanding about it to a certain extent. But to be honest, since they're ranked number 5 almost, what are they, ranked almost 5 in the standings right now? It feels like they didn't need to do this right now. They could have done this on Dynamite and make it mean something instead of throwing them on a kickoff show. Private Party did win, but still, no, I don't agree. They didn't need to do it just like Joey Janela didn't do it. And I still don't see what Joey Janela is. They call him the bad boy. What is he, the bad boy of hardcore, or just the bad boy of trying to be a ladies' man? Shouldn't they be showing it on Dynamite that he's a ladies' man? That's what I think it should be. Okay. Britt Baker, this is the main card. If I miss things, I want to say this clearly. I'm going to miss stuff. Because there's so much in this show. So I'm sorry if I do. But the first match, which was good, and went to a certain extent surprising, they went in a certain way. Britt Baker versus Big Swole in a tooth and nail match in a makeshift dentist's office, which myself, I want to just say this, that a video will be coming out eventually about my teeth. I'll explain it when that time comes. I want to just bring it up that something's coming up with my teeth again, and I don't know when, but soon I will be telling you guys what's going to happen. And admittedly, this didn't make me feel good because of it. But this was not a great match, but I respect they at least went there to a dentist's office to try and mean something. They got some dental equipment, and at one point during the match, Britt Baker was handed a syringe by a rebel or Reba to supposedly inject Novocaine into Big Swole, and she got it injected into, I believe, her right leg, and I believe I got a shot of that. It's in my face. If I don't, I'm sorry, but it was a real syringe that she let puncture her leg. At least it looked like it. There wasn't a fake syringe. That looked like a real syringe. So yeah, they really wanted to make this mean something. I'll say this. Seeing the match itself and seeing Big Swole win, I wasn't surprised. But now I want to see Britt Baker as a freaking dentist, not the trendsetter or the fashion sense setter, or pretty much the one who makes the women's I just rather see her as a real dentist trying to take people's teeth out of their head when she wrestles them. That's what I want. Not all this other stuff. I just think she'd be better that way. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now we had Jurassic Express versus the Bucks. Now this was a good match. And the Bucks maintaining their anger because of what happened with Hangman Page. And they're not really having a high position in the company, even though they're working as the executive officers of it. It shows. And I can respect that. They're trying to show that they should be higher up because they deserve it. That's what they think. They didn't care about showing friendship to Jurassic Express, to Luchasaurus' money. I say it again, Luchasaurus' money. And to Jungle Boy, who really did do a great showing. They made him look good here. They destroyed him to make him look good, which was alright. But in the end, they win, they walk off, they're still mad. Now, the Casino Battle Royal, who wins, gets eventually a future title shot. We had a lot of people in this match, and we had Matt Sydal show up. Supposedly this was his debut. He looked good. Question's going to be, how good is he going to look on Dynamite? He can look great on Dark, but Dynamite is where he's supposed to look good. And the way things are going, I'm not going to see that. So, who won? It was Lance Archer. Now, there were several botches in this match, but at least I'll say it wasn't 100% bad. It was interesting, the match, well compared to the Royal Rumble, that you have 5 people in a group. Every 3 minutes, another group comes out. Now, that's probably due to time constraints. That's the reason why they did it. But it's understandable that if they did this, it would stretch more than 4.5 hours. They're already hitting 4. That's the reason why they shortened it, which made sense. To be honest, I think it should have happened on the kickoff show, this Battle Royal. It would have been alright, but they wanted people to feel prominent. So I'll at least say they did it there. Seeing that Lance Archer is the one who's going to be going after the champion is understandable. But, and I still say this clearly, he jobbed to Cody. It doesn't fill me with a lot of comfort. But that's just me, you guys tell me below. Now, we had the Broken Rules match. Matt versus Sammy Guevara. This was a match you got a little scared about. And you can see, I believe I have the shot of the scissor lift. And Matt as well as Sammy in there. And once that side effect hit, and the way Matt's head bounced off the pavement, you wonder if he truly got hurt. Now, supposedly he didn't get hurt and he's fine. But that was a bad fall. That did not look good. In the end, Sammy got his ass whooped. But this is the thing that I'm hoping for. Like I said in my Dynamite review, I'm hoping something will change in Sammy and he'll realize that Matt is really in his best interest and Matt will take him under his wing. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know. He'll probably still stay with the Inner Circle, but I think eventually he's got to move off on his own. He needs an influence, and Matt Hardy would be the best one to do it. Now, if I'm rushing through these, I'm sorry. This is late at night. It's at 12. I want to go to sleep. And I still got to edit this, so I'm kind of rushing it, but I am trying to make this clear that this was a damn good show. The favorite match I had, the best match of the night, Shida versus Thunder Rosa for the Women's Championship. Now, I knew that Shida was going to win. I know AEW was not going to do it, even though, admittedly, I would have liked to see Shida lose and Thunder Rosa win for the simple reason this would help both companies. Seeing that Thunder Rosa was the champion of AEW and NWA, especially the NWA can't be shown right now. They're just not going to do that. At least maybe next year they will. I want to keep them relevant. NWA has turned itself around. And now they've gone underground again due to the fact of the pandemic, and I want to keep them relevant. I want to see Nick Aldis be seen in AEW. I want to see Aaron Stevens in AEW because he is the third degree national champion. I do not want to see Ziggy Dice as the television champion. No. Change him out. He's funny, but I don't want him on AEW television. I don't. But seeing this match, and it was a very high-flying, well, not high-flying, I take that back. I think the reason I said high-flying is because it was very smash mouth. And most of the time when you care about what normal wrestling is these days, they do high-flying and high smash mouth. And in this case, it was high smash mouth, high impact, high level of technical wrestling. This was the best technical wrestling match I've seen from women in a while. Other than, well, I won't say that the Iron Woman match that was in Impact when it came to Jordynne Grace and Dana Purrazzo wasn't damn good. It easily is on par with this. But as a technical standpoint, from one who is a lucha libre wrestler who has been trained heavily in Japanese wrestling and striking compared to a Japanese wrestler, it had dynamic. It was my favorite match. I really enjoyed when Thunder Rosa kicked out after she got struck in the face and she stuck that damn tongue out saying, "Girl, you please." I enjoyed it. I did enjoy that one moment where Thunder Rosa just showed off, "I'm not selling, fuck you." That was good. But I really, really wish that Thunder Rosa had won it. Or at least Thunder Rosa would come back. I'm not expecting to become an AEW. I know people are going to say, well, you know what? AEW is better for her. No, it's not. NWA is better for Thunder Rosa. Not AEW is better for Thunder Rosa. Not because she couldn't get more exposure. It's because she's rebuilding an old brand that has new life in it. I want to see her make that mean something more than just do an up-and-coming one. That's just me, guys. Tell me below. 8-man tag. The Dark Order versus the Nightmare Family. Well, the Natural Nightmares. But pretty much it was a Nightmare Family. Seeing that Scorpio Sky was there, seeing that Matt Cardova was there, that made it like a family. More than it made it like the Natural Nightmares. For me personally, they didn't need to have this match here. They didn't. I just don't agree with it. It wasn't a bad match, but I don't agree with it. Now, at the end of it, the reason that the Natural Nightmare, I said the National, I always get those mixed up. The Natural Nightmares won was because Colt Cabana got greedy and he wanted to show off a little bit more. And he got scolded by Brody Lee for it. So the question is, how is he going to be treated now? Brody Lee is not happy. He don't like losing. He don't. He was pissed as hell. So the question is going to be, how far they're going to go. Now, the second best match of the night for me. FTR versus Kenny and Hangman Page. You wonder where they were going to go. I thought one of two things. Which one of the two of the champions was going to turn on the other? Was it going to be Page or was it going to be Kenny? Because Kenny has been acting really freaked and pissed off lately, even before the Bucks. So I was wondering if he was going to do it first. Now the match was beautiful. For me personally, the conflicting styles, the contrasting styles, was perfect for me. Because you got a bit of old style wrestling and submission with very high flying, with a lot of strikes. Like I say, have a balance. You can have two different styles of wrestling in a match that has a story, which we know what's the story between FTR and what's going on with Hangman Page and how he screwed up everything. It was a great story. I enjoyed it. It worked great. And in the end, Hangman Page did get beat. And then Kenny, and I believe I got a shot of him just walking away. Kenny was so pissed off, he walked away. Didn't try to help Hangman because Hangman collapsed right in front of him. He didn't try to catch him or hold him like a friend. He just walked off. He was done. And this was throughout most of the match. Where there was any type of errors between the two, there was a type of conflict. It just showed. And I enjoyed that. The question now is, where are they going with Kenny Omega? He's done with the situation. He told the Bucks as he was traveling to his car outside, I'm going to the hotel. Forget this. We need to do something. You make a decision. You better decide. That's what he told the Bucks. So the question is, what is he talking about? We already got that Hangman Page is no longer in the Elite. So what's the question? Is Hangman Page going to be kicked out of AEW because of Kenny being so mad he doesn't want him there anymore? That's going to be a question. I want to know what it is. Kip Sabian and Penelope Forbes are getting married, and they're going to do it at this week's Dynamite. Also, Dustin is getting a shot at the TNT title this coming Dynamite. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is I don't know how far they're going to go, but at least it will be hopefully interesting. I think more interesting, just, I hope not too corny. I guess that's the reason why I botched. Finally, and if I am forgetting anything, I'm so sorry, guys. Finally, Moxley versus MJF for the AEW title. A good story. But we all thought that MJF's time has finally come. That he was going to be champ. That didn't happen. I don't really need to say anything more than he lost. And now it's going to be Moxley versus Lance Archer. But I am going to say this. How the match went down was actually well done. Trying to set up Moxley for his left shoulder, that he might have popped it out of place. And you could see the picture in my face, him trying to pop it back into place. Seeing that MJF got his head busted open, and he might have sliced himself a little bit too deep, because you can see how bad the blood is. He might have sliced himself just a little too much. Unless he really did bust his head open on the post. I guess he sliced himself too hard. But it looked good. You got a chance to see how good MJF really is under a pressure situation. You got to see how methodical he is. And I do believe it was Excalibur that said, I'm shocked, even though he's cheating. Kind of like how FTR cheated during their match. And I know I didn't bring that up. But FTR cheated. They did everything they could to win. MJF did as well. Maxwell Jacob Freeman. No, I'm calling him Freeman. Freeman. I'm tired, guys. I want to go to sleep. But Maxwell Jacob Freeman truly showed he can be a main event player in the future. It's not about how great he was in the ring. It was about how great of a storyteller he is in the ring. It's not about him doing all the great holds and all the great impact moves or all the great high flying. Telling a story in the ring is more important than any of that. Think about it for a minute. Hulk Hogan got over so heavily. It wasn't because he was heavily tanned. It wasn't because he had, well, I'll tell you something, brother. It wasn't that. He knew how to tell a story in the ring. And that was the key of it. It wasn't that he was the greatest wrestler in the world. He wasn't. He was just one of the greatest characters in the world. And MJF has that. But along with having a great character, he has a good moveset in the ring. He's technically sound. He knows how to make it look good for his opponent and himself. He just has it at 24. And I agree with Excalibur. What is he going to be like when he turns 25? He's going to show great potential. But this must be understood. I'm saying it right now. If he goes to WWE in the state it's in, he will just get buried. So he better not be stupid enough to go. But anyway, in the end, like I said, he lost. But it doesn't mean he can't still gain a title later. He could still get the title of the TNT. And eventually he could go back and try for the AEW again. He could go after the World Heavyweight title. The question is when. Maybe they think he's not ready. Maybe they want to do a story with Lance Archer and Moxley. I don't know. But the question is going to be, he's not ready. Don't believe right now he's ready. But eventually he will be ready. And when that day comes, we are going to love it. But this is just me. And that's the end of the video. Oh, I can't wait to edit this thing. If you got any idea how you feel about this pay-per-view, I enjoyed it. Yes, it was 4 hours long. I did enjoy it. Well, maybe 3 hours and 50 minutes. I think that would be accurate. 3 hours and 50 minutes long, not counting the kickoff show, which I did watch most of it. So to me, it did come out to 4 hours. But tell me how you feel about this show. How you feel about this pay-per-view. Was it too long? Was a lot of it good? Could you have forgotten about the kickoff? Do you believe the Casino Battle Royal should have been on the kickoff? Tell me what you think. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.